One of the physiques I always admired is Heracles right here. Some people know him as Hercules, but when you talk about classic aesthetics, Roman gods, Greek gods, this is the physique right here. This is kind of what, in my opinion, all men should aim for. This is classic aesthetics. If you follow the sport of bodybuilding, this is the men's classic division right here, which is the in between division between men's physique, which is like the smaller guys with the board shorts, and the higher guys called open bodybuilding who look like genetic freaks, like mutants. You know, there's so much muscle they can barely walk. Whereas this frame, this classically aesthetic frame, is actually achievable natural for one, whereas open bodybuilding is not. Achievable is it's a long journey of 4 to 6 years. You can look like this in 4 to 6 years of continued weightlifting, strength training. Did they actually look like that back in the day? I fully believe they did, my friend. I fully believe they did. Their diets were infinitely better than ours. The nutrient density that they have of eating only whole foods, no processed food, of eating animal protein multiple times a day. Yeah, I mean, they had such top tier nutrition back then, not intentionally so, but just by default. They didn't have all this artificial supply chain crap. They ate significantly better, and their actual daily lives required physical activity, a lot of it. You know, like walk several miles, just part of the average day, walk several miles. And that keeps your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, high so that you stay naturally very lean. So, like, honestly, if like fitness models didn't exist nowadays, I'm not sure average society would even know what abs look like. We're the only ones keeping this whole fucking show running. People have so dramatically given up on the idea of having a decent physique and being lean that if it weren't for these ancient sculptures and a very few of us keeping the dream alive, we wouldn't even know what the human form can look like in its optimal version. Yeah, I think this is probably the best depiction in all, because I've looked at a lot of ancient Roman and Greek sculpture. Like the statue of David is another one that people cite as another influence of modern aesthetics. Yeah, the modern diet is just it's flat out poison. It's unfortunate. And look, I'm not sitting here pretending like I eat all only clean, pure, organic food. I don't. I eat plenty of garbage too. Um, but I offset that by 60 minutes of walking a day and lifting almost every single day of my life. And that's the problem is most people just absorb all the shitty food and then do nothing with it. And that is why the average person is they don't look average, they look overweight. And that's why we have an obesity epidemic. Good old Heracles. Is that achievable, Natty? Was the question of that thread, though. By the way, I think I did mention that you can do that natural, but setting realistic expectations, that is a between 4 and 6 year physique. You're not going to look like that after 2 years of going to the gym. Let's see. Where are we at? An hour and a half. It's no wonder test levels are declining. The average person eats like shit. Yep. 100% true, man. The documentary Tucker Carlson did, the Fall of Men, talked about the steady decline of testosterone levels to the point that we are now like at a baseline, we're like 40% below what men were only a couple of decades ago. And so I'm surprised I actually haven't ranted about the Jews and the conspiracy theory stuff here in a little while. I actually kept it fitness oriented, but it's important for you guys taking the red pill and embracing your physical fitness, taking it all seriously. It's important for you to know that you're actually being attacked, that this isn't accidental. The shitty quality food that we're served up in mainstream society, when you go to a restaurant, when you go to eat fast food, it's not just that these companies aimed to make as much profit as they can, because that's kind of like the normie interpretation is, well, this stuff got so popular because people really like it, and when a lot of people like it, you make a lot of money, and that's why we're in this situation of having an obesity epidemic. They blame capitalism, is what that's saying. Is they're saying, well, there's a lot of money behind processed foods, and that's why there's so much advertising for it. You can't watch a single TV program without being shoved down your throat the newest Baconator, the newest Big Mac, Papa John's special, whatever. And so they believe it's capitalism. They believe it's all about the financial incentive for us all to eat like shit. And that's actually not what's going on. What's going on, as Hungry Soup pointed out, is that there are a certain party of people, globally elite people, who actually want America to be in bad health. Has nothing to do with money. They want America to be in bad health. They want men to be weak so that they can be controlled, and that they don't actively stand up for their rights and fight for their country and their heritage and their individual freedoms. The right to own property, the right to bear arms, all these things. They don't want you fighting for those things. And they know that if they crash your testosterone levels, you're less confrontational, you're less aggressive, you won't put up a fight when they come and try to restrict your fundamental human rights. And that's exactly why we are seeing everything happen in America, and not just America, but the entire West. This beta society that we live in, the soy boy society, is a result of intentionally crashed test levels, which they did through compromising our food and nutrition and societal messaging saying that men are toxic, that being classically masculine is a danger to society. So not only do they control you at a biological level with the food, they try to control your mind by telling you there's something wrong with feeling aggressive and assertive. We can save it, though. That's the good news. You know, sometimes this channel can feel like the black pill, where, you know, you just throw your hands up and say, everything is so fucked up and there's so much corruption, and I'm so far away from the levers of power of being able to actually change anything, especially when you figure out all of our elections are a fraud. We're seeing that play out right now with the midterms, that the winners of the elections are predetermined based on money, based on donorship. So you can feel powerless. And this is why you have to be, why your compass and your purpose for living, it can't only be like political, it has to be spiritual. And then you need to figure out, well, what spirituality should I pursue? Should I pursue Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, you know, all these other options? Obviously, I'm biased as a Christian. I'm going to tell you that you need Jesus Christ, because all these other options, no, absolutely not. If you value American principles, none of the other options work out. Judaism does not work out. Okay, because fundamentally, the big difference, I think I talked about this in the first hour of the show, if anybody missed it, is that Christians believe that we all are equal. That's a baseline. Like, that's true. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your nationality. We all have an equal voice and we have equal value. We're all equal in God's eyes. That's the Christian message. That message is not a part of Jewish religion. The Jewish religion says very clearly that Jews are the chosen ones, and that anyone who is not a Jew is a goy or goyim. And it is very much a us versus them. And when they are not us, we can treat them however they want. We get treated like animals, etc. So we won't go down that whole rant again. I've already done it like twice today. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is the life goals you should be aiming for. Wholesome. Straight up wholesome. Is that Jocko right there, I believe? That's the goal. Not an OnlyFans model, not an e-girl. You want wifey, you want 3 kids, you want everybody in healthy, good shape. Do you ever notice that? That these wholesome families, none of them are sitting there obese? You ever notice that? Good old Jocko. I have one of his books downstairs. Extreme Ownership. It's a good message though, in that self-pity, it's just a waste of time. Everything in your life is under your control. You control all of it. So take extreme accountability for every minute of your day. Make sure as many of those minutes are as productive as possible, whether that's your education, your career, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health. Like there's an infinite number of things you can work on in a healthy fashion every single day. And sadly, that's not what men do right now. That's not what they're taught. That's not the propaganda that they receive. The propaganda they receive looks something like spend an hour on Pornhub, spend 2 hours watching the newest Marvel movie, and then play some video games for another couple hours. That's how I'm going to spend my 6 hours of free time. At the end of those 6 hours, you have absolutely nothing to show for it. You haven't made yourself a better person in any way. And then you wonder why you're depressed, and you wonder why you're not achieving your goals, and you wonder why you don't have a girlfriend, and like all these things. You are the creator of your own problems. Okay. How are we doing? Oh shit, it's 7 o'clock already where I live. Damn, dude, I've been ranting for a bit longer than I intended to. I meant to get off here. It's 7:06 here. I meant to get off a little bit before 7 because I got to walk my dog. I got to get my dinner. I got to get my post-gym shower. Got to do all these things. So, that being said, all you guys in chat who came and hung out, I appreciate it. Thanks for asking questions. I will be back tomorrow. I like to do an episode in the morning where I try to talk news and politics and current events. Try to red pill people on the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization. The people calling the shots in your life who you don't understand are actually the ones calling the shots. You think it's your politicians. You think it's the people that you elected. It's not. Surprise. So we talk a lot about that on this channel. And then we usually move into the fitness stuff after talking about the global conspiracy theories and whatnot. Appreciate that, Soup, man. Appreciate the follow. I look forward to seeing you in here again. I'm going to go get my nightly routine underway, take care of my dog, get some food in me, all that stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow.